So now we're ready to insert the precision rods into the front and back plates of the machine here. And these are the rods that are on the y-axis here that allow the bed to slide forward and back. And so when you get the rods out, make sure you get the ones that are 10 inches long. Those are the longer of the two sets of rods in the kits. And you're just going to need two for this axis. The other parts you're going to need are some of these silver brass bushings that are part of the linear bag. And you're going to need 4 of them for this step. And also some sort of rubber mallet, or if you do use a metal hammer, make sure that you put a piece of wood underneath the hammer when you're hitting so that you don't bang directly on the end of the rods. So the first step is going to be to take the rods out of the bags, and I'm just going to slide the rod gently into the hole as far as I can. And once I can't push it any further, I'm going to use the rubber mallet. I'm just going to tap on the end of the rod until I kind of feel it stop as it hits the table. And then I'm going to take the other rod and do the exact same thing. Alright, and it's important to note when we flip the part up, you'll see that the backs of the rods are flush with the underside of this piece of wood. You want to make sure they go all the way in. And also it's important that they go in straight, so if they don't start straight, go ahead and try again. And the last thing to know about the rods before you start putting them together is sometimes the rods come with something kind of sticky on them. And it's a good idea, if it doesn't feel really smooth and oily, to get like a paper towel and some alcohol or some other cleaner and clean off any residue on the rods that might cause them to be sticky later on. So once we got the rods inserted into the back plate, we're going to move on and we're going to get 4 of the brass bushings. And we're going to take 2 brass bushings and we're going to slide them down onto each rod. Then we're going to be ready to install the top plate. And like I said earlier, the plate has an orientation. The ways you can tell are the holes in the middle here are slightly closer to the top edge than they are to the bottom edge. And also, if you look at the logo here, there's a circle on the edge that goes towards the top, whereas the side that goes towards the bottom is all squares. So you can double check and make sure that you're putting it on the correct way. And so what you do here is you're just going to line up the rods with the holes. Kind of press it down with your hands once again as far as you can, and then you're going to take short, light strokes with the hammer and gently pound it on and alternate from one side to the other so that you put it on relatively evenly and never gets really set at an angle. So just going to keep hammering it gently until once again the rods are exactly even with the top surface. And so there we have this step. We have the rods, the bushing sliding freely down here, and the rods are flush with both edges of the assembly.